Tonight, the superstars on Monday Night Raw descended upon the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Monday Night Raw exclusive pay-per-view, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Oh my. And oh my, what a night indeed. So, hello friends and welcome to this very special edition of Ridiculously Raw. I am your ridiculously over good brother, Anthony Fleur, here with you, joined by the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Didi Whitson. I am hopeful our other panelists, good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Phenom Michael Bullock, they were out and about watching the Sunday Night Football game with the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots Super Bowl rematch. They went up to a local establishment here in our neck of the woods, the Buffalo Wild Wings, in the Seekonk, Providence area. So I would reckon they're probably on their way home from that now. So I am hopeful that by the end of this, we'll have them here and we'll get their thoughts on this event as well. So, but for right now, Didi and I will run the show as only we can. So, all right. With that being said, let's dive on in. Of course, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs was live tonight from the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minnesota Timberwolves on exclusively on the WWE Network and some traditional pay-per-view outlets. That started the show. It was Sasha Banks squaring off against Alicia Fox, and Sasha Banks won the match in seconds via the Banks statement. Two to 2.25 stars. It was a fine kickoff match. Nothing really special about it. And then they worked hard, you know. And let's face it, the outcome was never in question. But the live crowd was into the bout, and they clearly liked Sasha. So, what's to say on that? So, just wanted to give you a. So, now let's dive into. And oh boy, what a way to start it off. 2 women's matches. It was Emma squaring off against the debut of the Empress of Tomorrow, the one and only Asuka, who ran NXT, you know, who ruled the NXT women's division with an iron fist. And here we go. Winner of the match in 9 minutes and 23 seconds to 9 minutes and 25 seconds. Come on. Did you really think it was going to be anybody else? It was Asuka. Of course it was Asuka who won the match. I'm going to give this 2.5 stars. Quality match and a good debut for Asuka. Longer than I anticipated, but it was a better showcase for the newcomer than Shinsuke Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler had at Backlash. At the same time, Emma came away from this looking a bit stronger than she did going in. So, I mean, no complaints here. I mean, they had a good match in NXT, and they deliver another solid match here. I'm sure the NXT match was better, but nonetheless, they easily could have had this as a squash match, but no, they actually made Emma look good, and that's good. I'm glad they didn't bury her completely. They could have, but they didn't. So, solid 2.5 stars for me. Nothing left to say on this. Didi Whitson, first of 2 women's matches for you tonight, and how did the Empress of Tomorrow look in her main roster Monday Night Raw in-ring debut? What a steal we got!
It was an awesome match. You know, I was a little surprised that Emma got as much offense as she did, but you know, that they made both girls look good, and you know, Asuka definitely pulled it off just like we knew she would. I'm going to agree with the 2-star rating, and you know, I look forward to seeing the next match that Asuka has coming up. So, not much more I had to say. So it's back to you.
Okay, let's we're gonna get into our next match here. Well, Didi was. I know Didi was not into this. First of 2 cruiserweight matches on the night. The Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher going up against Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. The winners of the match in about 8 minutes. It was Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander who pick up the fall here. let's see, what did I have for this one? Oh, a 2-star rating. Actually, no. I actually gave this a 3-star rating. A good and fun back and forth match, very enjoyable. Pretty much all action and the show to that point. I mean, solid tag match with the crowd being into the offense of the babyface team was here because I would have had a little fun with him because during this match, Cedric Alexander performed one of Michael Bullock's absolute favorite move, the Tope con Hilo. And you know how Michael Bullock loves the Tope con Hilo. And Cedric Alexander delivered a picture perfect one. I'm going to be real honest with you. So yeah, solid match. Definitely an enjoyable match. Much better than I initially thought it would be. I didn't have any high hopes going into this match, but they far surpassed my expectations. So, sleeper fight of the night. Well done, guys. 3 stars, solid 3 stars. So, with that being said, now let's move on to the match that I know Dee Woodson had the most vested interest in. Raw Women's Championship on the line. Alexa Bliss defending the title against Mickie James. Winner of the match in between 11 minutes and 25 seconds to 11 minutes and 27 seconds. There is no joy in Mudville tonight. The winner and still the Raw Women's Champion, Little Miss Bliss, the 5 Feet of Fury. And I know you're not thrilled about the outcome in any way, but
no, but I knew it was going to happen. I like I said last night, they let James get over on Monday Night Raw on the Go Home show, so Bliss had to win tonight, and we all know why she had to win tonight, because coming up soon, we'll have her versus Asuka. Won't be the next pay-per-view because she's looking to lead the Raw team to winning in the Survivor Series over the SmackDown team. So it looks like we're going to have a traditional Women's Survivor Series again match. So we'll see how that happens, since there isn't really anybody in the locker room besides Nia Jax that wants anything to do with Alexa Bliss. So I'm going to give the match a 3 stars. I thought it was a very good match. A lot of strong points. Mickie James pretty much almost had her covered 2 or 3 times and almost had the win 2 or 3 times. But in the end, Alexa pulled it off. So not much more I had to say about it. So I'll toss it back over to you.
Yeah, I agree. Solid 3 stars, no question about it. They worked a good, smart back and forth match with Bliss picking up a hard fought and clean win. James put up a good fight, but just didn't have enough to win the title tonight. This was another solid match. I mean, this was a better match than they have had in the past. The effort was there, but there was nothing particularly memorable about the match, nor anything truly wrong with it either. And I liked Mickie James' post-match interview with Charlie Caruso afterwards. It was simple, and she came off as genuine. So, yeah, you saw the emotion. I mean, she wanted to get that lucky 7, and great effort, no doubt about it. And now I get why Michael Fletcher was, or I should say, why Michael Fletcher has always been a fan of Mickie James, not just for her beauty, but also for her in-ring ability. And I get why MF has been a fan of hers all these years, and I get it now. It took me a long time to understand, but I finally got it now. So, and I know MF would have said the same thing if he were here. So, yeah, I agree, Dee Woodson. I agree 100%. I mean, the the announcer crews, not just the kickoff show panel, but the Raw announce team itself, they are putting over Survivor Series as Raw versus SmackDown. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get what we had last year, a traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup, the 5 best women from Monday Night Raw against the 5 best women of SmackDown Live. And we all remember what happened last year. The A show won, so but I was not surprised at. Let's not kid ourselves. We all remember it was Charlotte and Bayley who were the survivors in that match. So of course they'll be on opposite teams this time around, but it'll be very interesting to see how they book that match come next month. So all I know is I'm definitely looking forward to it. So all right, let's get into our next match. This one was for the Cruiserweight Championship. Kalisto defending the title against the challenger and former champion Enzo Amore. Winner of the match in about 8 minutes and 45 seconds. And the new, once again, Cruiserweight champion, bada boom, realest guy in the room, Enzo Amore. He regains the title here tonight. Yeah, okay. Honestly, when it comes to the Cruiserweight matches, the tag team match was far and away better. This was not good. Not good at all. 1.5 stars. Really flat match with next to no heat. And Enzo winning the title back as we all predicted. The quick title changes have happened way too much to make me care about them in any way. I mean, this is what I call hot potato booking and Cruiserweight Championship. Just like we saw with the Raw Women's Championship for a time. But stay hot. Trusty Pick'em quarter. The hot crowd was not so hot during this match. Hard to blame them. Most fans wanted to cheer Enzo before WWE turned him heel because he was unpopular backstage. And Kalisto was losing to everyone until he moved to the Cruiserweight division recently. So one of the few lowlights of this show, in all honesty. So okay. Are you ready for this? The first of our 2 huge main events here tonight. This was one that beforehand was going to be an absolute laughing stock of a match. It was originally supposed to be the Demon Finn Balor against Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail. Yeah, who wanted to see that? No one. But because of the recent medical issues, the viral infection that's been going around, Bray Wyatt out, and who took his place? None other than the crown jewel of SmackDown Live, the phenomenal AJ Styles. We didn't even have to wait till Survivor Series. We got a Raw versus SmackDown match here tonight. Finn Balor representing Raw, AJ Styles representing SmackDown Live. Oh my goodness. And the winner of the match in approximately 18 minutes and 20 seconds. 18 minutes and 20 seconds. It is the time of the match. Winner of the match, the Demon, Finn Balor. Score 1 from Monday Night Raw. Yes. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Edie Whitson, there's nothing left for me to say. I think we're both in agreement here.
Oh, yeah. Might as well hit it on the head here. If it was definitely what we were hoping it was going to be. It lived up to all the hype. I'm probably one of the biggest marks for Demon Balor that I know of, and for me, this was a hard match because I like both guys, but I was definitely glad that Demon Balor pulled it off and won it tonight. Because basically, you could say this is the battle of the 2 guys that started the Bullet Club, and the 2 heads, and the better of the 2 heads, I guess you can say, won the match. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shoot it with the 5-star rating because to me, this was definitely a gripping match. I enjoyed this match, and not much more I'm going to say about it because I know you're going to cover everything else. So I'll toss it back to you and hope that this little guy stops playing with my microphone.
Yeah, he's something you got. That's something you got there. That's a little cutie pie you got there. I love that little cutie pie right there. Yes, indeed. All right. I'm gonna agree with you for the most part. I can't quite give it 5 for the match. Maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, then I definitely would have given it 5. Absolutely. I'm gonna give the overall match 4 stars. However, I am gonna agree with you. I am gonna give it a 5-star rating because of the crowd. The crowd made that a 5-star match. Didi Woodson, absolutely correct on that. Did you notice before the match started? Even before the match started, you heard that crowd. They were chanting, "This is awesome." Before the match. Not during the match. Before the match even started, before the bell even rang. "This is awesome" chants. The IWC took over the Target Center tonight. That's all there is to say about that. Those are IWC nuts out there. No question about it. Raw versus SmackDown. Raw gets the first shot. I couldn't be any more delighted about it. I only wish MF was here so I could rub it in his face, but yeah, I mean, I only wish he was here. I mean, I would have loved to have rubbed his nose in it, but
I knew you were going to do that.
Hey, he said he was going to do it if AJ had won. So
that he did.
And I said, "Hey, Floyd, I hope AJ wins." Well, hey, we got Michael Bullock here. All right, Michael Bullock just back in from the from a surprise night out with MF. I don't know if MF's going to be coming in, but
oh, he's going to be coming in.
Oh, good. Okay, very good. Okay, great.
Yeah, just give him some time.
Okay, no worries.
As a matter of fact, there he is.
Okay. All right, we're all here. I'm gonna catch MF and Bullock up. I'll save my thoughts on the dream match in just a moment. But Michael Bullock and MF, we're gonna catch you up here. We're not gonna talk about the kickoff show match. We don't do that anyway. Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox. Sasha won that. First match of the night, it was Asuka and Emma, the debut of Asuka. And the winner, of course, was Asuka. Asuka won the match in about 9 minutes and 23 seconds. So, MF, let's get you caught up here. Well, I'm gonna go in the order with you two. So, Asuka, Emma, how did the Empress of Tomorrow look in her in-ring debut, MF?
Well, I'm going to say it. I was very impressed. I liked what I saw. I thought she was really good. 2.5 stars is my rating for the debut. I'm really not going to go much more deeper into it. So, Mike Bullock, I'll give it to you quick.
I'll give it about 2.5 stars. A fine debut for Asuka. She looked really good, and yeah, I mean, there's really nothing really that bad to say about it. So, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do now with Asuka. I mean, could they continue the rivalry between her and Emma? I really don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. So 2.5 stars. I really have nothing more to say. Let's just let's move on to the next match that me and Fletcher are gonna catch ourselves up on.
And it was the tag team match in the cruiserweight tag team match. D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher against Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander win the match. Alexander with the lumbar check. They won it in 8 minutes, an even 8 minutes. So, Michael Bullock, we'll start it off with you. But before we do, guess what? I don't know. You probably didn't see the match, but during the match, Cedric Alexander, you did your favorite move. What is it?
Don't make a halo!
Yeah, man. Your thoughts?
All right, I'm going to give it about 2 stars on the match here. I mean, it was a fine match for what it was. Really anything special about it, so not going to get into any further details on it. 2 stars. Fletch, I give it to you.
2.25 stars. I'm with an agreement with Michael Bullock on that part. Solid for what it was worth. Really nothing amazing to talk about it. But, good. It was a decent match under the circumstances. So let's just move on.
Then we had the Raw Women's Championship on the line. Alexa Bliss defending against Mickie James. Alexa Bliss, still the champ. She wins it in about 11 minutes and 27 seconds. So, MF, let's start with you. Alexa over Mickie in about 11 and a half minutes.
2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star is very surprising. Good outcome. Definitely a lot more better than in the previous matches that they've had. And I was really impressed with the body of work of both ladies. They really went for it tonight. Like I said, under the circumstances, but we knew going into the fight it was going to be a good match, and it actually delivered. This is one of those few fights that really we were looking forward to. We were hoping it was going to deliver, and they nailed it. Great job, women. 2.5 to 2 3/4. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm in the same range. 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. I mean, yeah, the women certainly gave it their all in this match. I mean, a good match here. So nothing really. Yeah, I mean, nothing really much I can say about it. So I'm just gonna move on, and I think the next match is the cruiserweight match.
Yeah, Cruiserweight Championship on the line. Kalisto defending against the challenger and former champion Enzo Amore. The winner of the match in between 8 minutes and 45 seconds to an even 9 minutes. And the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, the realest guy in the room, Enzo Amore. He's the new champ. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
1.5 stars is my rating on it. I mean, it was fine for what it was. Nothing really special. I really wasn't too impressed with this match, so nothing more to say. Fletch, I give it to you.
I would say I'm a little annoyed about this fight. Yes, it's a 1-star fight for me. I'm not going to call it worst fight of the night. I easily could call it worst fight of the night. I'm just a little annoyed that they made Kalisto a transitional champion. I think that was the wrong move to do. I don't know why. I understand that, yeah, you were in a rush and you were trying to do everything that you could do, but it just leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. And this is one time where I wish Raw would have had the hearts or the cojones to let Kalisto keep the belt a little while longer. They didn't. They messed it up. I got nothing more to say.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. I mean, Kalisto just won the title, and then you make him look like a paper champion. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, they should have given Kalisto a really good run with the title. Instead, you put it back around this annoying piece of crap in Enzo Amore. Ugh, it just rubs me the wrong way.
I agree. I mean, hey, remember a couple of months ago they did the same thing to Akira Tozawa, for goodness sakes.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I will totally flip out.
Yeah, but yeah, they screw Akira Tozawa. They screw Kalisto. Yeah, apparently Enzo Amore is quote unquote best for business in the cruiserweight division. So,
give me a break with that nonsense.
Well, I'm just calling it like I see it. So I don't like it either, but it is what it is. So, all right, enough of that nonsense. Let's get into the big one here. The first of our two huge main events. Dee Woodson already gave her thoughts. I'm about to give my thoughts on this. We didn't have to wait until Survivor Series. We got Raw versus SmackDown Live tonight. Representing Monday Night Raw, the Demon Finn Balor. Representing SmackDown Live, the crown jewel of it, if you will, the phenomenal AJ Styles. Winner of the match in 18 minutes and 20 seconds. Score one for Monday Night Raw, the Demon Finn Balor. He wins the match. Finn Balor. What did Finn Balor do? He represented this brand right here. He represented the A show as only he could. Now, MF, correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't you say last night if AJ Styles had won that match, you were going to rub my nose in it? Well, touche, pal. I'm going to rub your little SmackDown Live nose in it right here and right now.
Now, children, no need to get hasty about it.
Yeah, you're right. It's only the first match. It's only the first match, but I'm just so excited. I mean, wow, what a win. What a monumental win for Finn Balor. I mean, here's the thing. They're pushing Finn Balor to be the next challenger for Brock Lesnar in the Universal Championship. There's talks of them doing that at the Royal Rumble. That's a great first step to get there. No doubt about it. To put Finn Balor over the crown jewel of SmackDown Live, I mean, that is monumental. Didi Woodson gave the match a 5-star rating. Let me tell you this. The overall match was 4 stars. But I'm going to give it 5 stars because of the crowd. The crowd was lit for this match. And before the match, guys, they were chanting, "This is awesome," even before the bell rang. Can you believe that? "This is awesome" chants before the bell rang. And then after the match, as if that couldn't get any better, they did the too sweet. They too sweeted each other. Bullet Club style. Oh, did you hear that crowd go pop, go ballistic for that? It was almost like the Minnesota Timberwolves won the NBA championship, for goodness sakes. Wow. Unbelievable. Terrific match that the live crowd adored. The post-match scene was epic with the former Bullet Club leaders performing the too sweet hand gesture in the middle of the ring. WWE officials obviously know matchups like this are crowd pleasers, so why in the world don't we see more of them? It seems like we're more likely to get these types of quote-unquote dream matches in NXT than on the main roster for some odd reason. All of that said, this was really good, and it's hard to imagine a Demon versus Sister Abigail match being nearly as satisfying. Oh my goodness gracious. These two had a great match, which is credit to their skills as this was last minute, and Styles had to do a lot of travel to get to TLC because he was on he was on the SmackDown Live tour of South America, and they brought him in for last minute, and credit to him just for the travel alone. They had a great crowd. They played to them, doing their trademark stuff, and gave us a clean and satisfying ending for their first match. Now imagine how good this will be when they get a proper feud. Not complaining here. WWE was in a bad spot. Some TV time and also time to work together on the road. And these two will absolutely kill it down the line. And we'll definitely get a Flair Steamboat 5-star from these two in the near future. No question about it. But I am hopeful that we'll get to see it. We'll get to see it again soon enough. Maybe at Survivor Series, perhaps, as part of a traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. That's very possible. We could see Raw versus SmackDown. We could see Finn Balor on the Raw team and AJ on a SmackDown team. We'll have to wait and find out. But I don't know. But nonetheless, 4 stars for the overall match. But it's 5 stars because of the crowd. That was an epic crowd. That was almost a WrestleMania-like crowd at the Target Center tonight. So I'm not going to go too crazy on it. I mean, I know MF said he was going to rub my nose in it if AJ had won it, considering it would have
Anthony Florio, let's just say this. This was a tainted victory. Any credibility or any win on these circumstances doesn't mean. So you could gloat, you could say whatever. Next month is going to be bragging rights, my buddy. And when that is when the real war begins. This was a little taste. I told you that Balor was going to win. I knew this was going to happen.
I knew it too.
So honestly, don't play me for an idiot for one goddamn second. And on top of that, yeah, congrats to Finn Balor. Well done. You got your victory. Yes, nice moment for Monday Night Raw, but again, tainted victory. It wasn't even, it was out of nowhere. It was basically 2 guys thrown in literally 48 hours, AJ Styles came from South America to get to the United States to fight this fight. I mean, jet lag, unfair, whole 9 yards. You could throw all the excuses and whatever, but I'm not going to throw that. So AJ put out one of the best fights out there. Gee, Monday Night Raw, you couldn't do that on your own. You needed a SmackDown superstar to do that for you. You're welcome, by the way. And on top of that, this is why, I'm happy with this. 4.5 stars is the official rating, and that's also including the crowd. And it was a great fight. It was a spectacular match. Hats off to everybody who did what they had to do. This stole the show. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Oh, what did you give for a rating, Fletch?
4.5.
All right, well, I'll give it 4.5 for the match, but with the way the crowd was so into it, I gotta agree, this was 5 stars, no doubt about it. So, I mean, this was just a match that really, really stole the show. So, there's really nothing more to say. I mean, there's really nothing more to say about it. I mean, who didn't enjoy this? I mean, I don't think anybody didn't enjoy it. I certainly did, even though I didn't get to see it. But I heard it was definitely really good. So nothing more to say. Florio, I think we had ourselves a little cool down match.
Oh, we certainly did. But before I get into that, it sounds to me like the battle lines have been drawn. I got my Raw shirt. I'm hopeful that MF will have a SmackDown Live shirt ready to go for the Survivor Series. That's all I want to say, so we can really have some fun with it. So, just saying. So, and they did push it as Raw versus SmackDown. So we'll see how it goes starting tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Trust me. So, man, what a moment. I mean, I know you guys wanted to see the Falcon Patriot game, and rightfully so. I understand, but boy, howdy, you guys missed one hell of a match, and that crowd was epic. This is awesome chance before the bell even rang, number one. And then the too sweet moment at the end with the Bullet Club gesture. Whoa. That's epic. That's all kinds of epic. So I swear I could have heard MF saying, "Shut up and take my money." Yeah, I swear I could hear you, MF. So that's all I could say on that. So well done. Well done. Okay. Yes, Michael Bullock, you are correct. We did have a cool down match with Elias against Jason Jordan. Jason Jordan won the match, and this one actually got a decent amount of time. It got 8 minutes and 50 seconds, and Jason Jordan got the 1, 2, 3. I'm surprised. This was actually a 2.5 star match. I mean, they were put in the death spot. No one cared, but they worked hard and had a perfectly average match, a perfectly average wrestling match. I mean, yeah, nobody gave a crap about it, but the Elias guitar segments with Jordan interrupting seemed to be well received, but the fans just sat on their hands during this match. And the finish, and there was a controversial finish, though. Elias got the shoulder up before the 3 count, so there is no question about it. This finish seemed designed to set up a rematch tomorrow night on Raw, whether we like it or not. And I know we don't like it, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars. So MF, I don't know if you want to get into it or not, but Jordan beats Elias in about 9 minutes. I'm guessing you guys don't want to get into it. And okay, MF.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I'm not gonna go too much deeper into this. It was an alright fight. I could give you the 2-star rating that you gave it. There was a little bit of some controversy at the end. Yeah, fine, whatever, but nothing more to say. Bullock, I'll give it to you.
I'll give it about 2.5 stars. I mean, I thought this was gonna be a bad one, but I thought this match was good for what it was. I mean, surprisingly. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. Let's did Didi Woodson want to talk about it?
I'll give it 2.5 stars. I wasn't too keen on the fact that every segment was Elias. But I knew it was leading up to something, and it ended up being the cool down match between these two. So, not much more I had to say about it. So, let's go on.
Main event time. The 5-on-3 tables, ladders, and chairs handicap match. Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion The Miz, the Monster Among Men Braun Strowman, The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus, and Kane teaming up against what was supposed to be the reunited Shield, the Raw Tag Team Champions Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Of course, you know Roman Reigns was supposed to be in it, but Roman Reigns, just like Bray Wyatt, fell victim to the viral infection that went around. He's out. Raw General Manager and Hall of Famer Kurt Angle in. And Kurt Angle was dressed up as a member of the Shield. Ambrose and Rollins made Angle an honorary member of the Shield for this match. He dressed in the Shield getup. Winners of the match in about 35 and a half minutes. Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, all kinds of craziness went down. We had dissension on the heel side. Turned on Braun Strowman, and then Miz and The Bar joined Kane. They turned on Strowman, and they throw Strowman in a freaking garbage truck, and they drive him away. Angle gets taken out. He comes back, and Angle scores the winning fall on The Miz, just as I called it. No doubt about it. So there's really nothing left for me to say on this except MF. We started with you here. Your style of match. 35 and a half minutes. Whoa.
Unfortunately, I cannot give it the 5-star rating. It was very sloppy in certain elements. It overstayed its welcome on a lot of good stuff. They kept Angle in check. They didn't make him go any crazy. They didn't have him do any of the big stuff or the whole 9 yards. But then they did some good things about the match. The pacing of it was good. I love the little dissension among the ranks on the heel side. But the actions of Kane, I didn't really like that. Them obviously setting up the Strowman thing, especially throwing him into a garbage truck. I mean, Braun Strowman is a monster among men. Roar. He could. You've seen the stuff he's done in the past. For God's sake, he flipped a freaking ambulance over with Roman Reigns in it. And he couldn't get out of a garbage truck? Oh. If I had the time and I didn't, and I'm in a chipper mood right now, so you're not going to get Cerebral Viper. If I was a little more gnarlier, a little more angrier, and if this was not a PG show, you probably would have gotten Cerebral Viper tonight. But I won't. I'll give this 4.5 stars. This is fight of the night. I'll give you that. Because I think this was better than AJ and Balor. But to me, it's not a 5-star match. It was a good way to close the show, but it was predictable. We knew this was going to happen. But the way we got there was a complete and utter mess. I hated it. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
I gotta go with Fletch, and I gotta give it the 4.5-star rating because I mean there were some spots that it was sloppy at times, and then the whole thing with the team turning, I mean the heel team turning on each other, and I mean Braun Strowman he flipped an ambulance, and he turned an announce table over and put it right on top of Brock Lesnar. and you can't have them bust out of a garbage thing. That really leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I mean, it was fight of the night, no doubt about it, but just some of the things just really rubbed me the wrong way. But the one thing I will say, I loved how the Rollins and Ambrose had him as had Kurt Angle as an honorary member of the Shield. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah, and what's going on with this heel team? I mean, first, and then I really don't know. 4.5 stars is my rating, but like I said, I can't give it the 5 just because of some of the sloppy stuff we saw. So, enough said. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, it was very sloppy. There was a lot of chaos going on during that match. Wasn't really organized to where you could really, understand everything going on. I'm not going to go with match of the night on this because I do think the other match was better, in my opinion. But I will agree that this was, it was a good match. I'm going to probably go a little lower than you guys and go 3.5 stars. So not much more I have to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
I agree with Dee's rating. You're absolutely correct, Dee Woodson. Absolutely spot on. 3.5 stars. That's all I can give it. It was the sloppiness and the slowness that really killed this match. I'm gonna be real honest with you. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing. It was the second best fight of the night. Absolutely. But I got a lot of nitpicking about this match. It feels like one of those matches that I'm gonna need to, look back on a few times before I can come to a solid conclusion as to how I really feel. Seeing Kurt Angle back was a ton of fun, for me being the Angle mark that I am. And the first 10 minutes of this bout were awesome. But then it drastically slowed and became predictable in a very bad way. Kane got in way too much offense, and it felt like he was being presented as the star. Angle got taken out. We got the trainers to the back spot. Kane and Braun turned on each other. Rollins and Ambrose survived the onslaught that went way too long. We got the spear through the barricade spot, and Angle finally made the save for the feel-good moment. They filled the spots on the TLC bingo card. That doesn't make it bad because it was fun and chaotic, but it felt as if it needed to be edited, as the final third was really, really lethargic and snoozy. I am sure some loved this more than Didi and I did, but Jesus, man. But here's the thing, though. It was a fun brawl, but it did overstay its welcome, like MF said. I'll give you that, MF. When they were brawling on the stage, based on the fans starting to tire out, but they got them back in the end. It was nice to see Angle work a safer brawling style without the big moonsault spot or anything too over the top. Kane's actions seemed to confuse the crowd a bit, but obviously they're setting him up for a match against Strowman. Snooze. The garbage truck was silly, and they easily could have had Strowman stay down in the hole in the stage. Still, the main event worked for the live crowd, as many of them were on their feet for a good portion of the bout. But nonetheless, this was a 3.5 star match. Spot on because of that slowness at the end. So, all right. Overall thoughts of TLC. Michael Bullock, let's start it off with you here.
All right, I'm gonna give this about a 7.5 out of 10. Because some of them. The matches were really good, especially the one that, of course, the fight of the night between. I'll have to say now it was Finn Balor and AJ Styles. The main event was good, but like you said, it did slow, and I may have been way too generous on the rating. But it is what it is. I thought and Elias and Jason Jordan, turned out to be a surprise. I thought this was going to be a snoozer. It turned out to be much better than what I expected. So, there's really nothing more to say. 7 to 7.5 out of 10. I could have gone higher, but like you said, the main event, the way it ended, it just, I mean, the ending part of it just really rubbed me the wrong way. So there's really nothing more to say. Dee Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. About 7.5 out of 10. But at the same time, we did have some really good matches. It's just the Elias segments kind of made it a little boring. I mean, yeah, you're trying to build a storyline at the last minute to fill one slot for a cool down spot, but I mean, it could have been done a little bit better than that. And having the couple of really low point matches, and I don't normally rate the cruiserweights, but I mean that Enzo match, I mean it could have been better. And yeah, I kind of agree. Why have Enzo win it and make Kalisto a paper champion when we know Kalisto's a lot better than that? But it is what it is. So just one more reason why I don't particularly like doing cruiserweight matches. So looking forward to next month's pay-per-view from some of the building up they did from this one for Survivor Series. But in the end, it was good for what it was worth. It was better than some of the other pay-per-views we've had for Raw or even for SmackDown. So not much more I have to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
I'm gonna go 6.5 to 7 out of 10. To be honest, this show was far more entertaining than it looked like it would be before the lineup changes. Not a shot at anyone who had to miss the show. It's just a simple truth, and it's just me telling it like it is, like they always do. AJ Styles and Finn Balor most definitely stole the show. We all knew they would. I mean, that's not a big surprise. Main event, could have been a lot better. I mean, it went way too long, but it was still a fun brawl anyway. But some of the other matches were just there. I mean, Mickey and Alexa put on a very good women's match tonight. That cruiserweight tag team match really surprised me. And Jordan and Elias, definitely the sleeper fight of the night. I mean, I did not expect that thing to be any good. I thought it was going to be one of our infamous, ridiculously raw cutout matches, but it ended up being better than I thought. And despite the changes that had to be made and the complete lack of hype going into the show, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2017 was a fine show with a great Balor versus Styles match, a chaotic main event, and the return of Kurt Angle. There was some really solid undercard stuff. Alexa versus Mickey and the Cruiserweight tag were good, but I also feel that some of the other things could have been better. But solid debut for Asuka. They made Emma actually look pretty decent. So yeah, 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I think that's the proper rating for this event here tonight. Far surpassed my expectations. I had this as a bleh show, but if it wasn't for those lineup changes, if Roman and Bray had been healthy, would this have been a 6.5 to 7 out of 10? I don't know. Honestly, I don't think so. But that's all there is to say on that Survivor Series, Raw versus SmackDown. Of course, we're very likely going to see Brock Lesnar against Jinder Mahal, although none of us have any desire to see that match whatsoever, because we all know Lesnar's going to squash that Punjab in about 2 minutes. Let's not kid ourselves. He's going to do the same thing that Goldberg did to him last year. I'm calling it right here and now. And then from there, we're probably looking at maybe 2 or 3 traditional Survivor Series matches with Raw versus SmackDown. I could see one with the women. Maybe we'll see one with the cruiserweights. maybe we'll see one with the Shield and this storyline. I don't know. We'll see, but we'll see. We'll officially start the road to the Survivor Series tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw from the Rush Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So that's just my early thoughts on Survivor Series, the card that is. So nothing left for me to say. 6.5 to 7 out of 10. MF, let's put the bow on this.
I'm gonna go 6.5 out of 10 as well. I think it was all right for what it was worth. I think obviously the two main fights really stood out, which was the TLC fight and Balor versus AJ. They really stood out, and then yeah, you had some other decent matches there. Um, Under the circumstances and what they were trying to do the whole night, I thought they did fine for what it was worth. It just really never was a complete show, to say the very least. They left a lot out there, but from going with what they had, which was undoubtedly probably on paper the worst pay-per-view of the year, to now what they did at the end, yeah, I think they did very well. So they made what they had to do. Decent, not great. Hopefully they'll do better tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. Anthony, let's wrap it up.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here, MF. The special edition of Ridiculously Raw. I do apologize for the late start. I know I said immediately following the pay-per-view, but I wanted to accommodate MF and Bullock because they were out this evening. So I wanted to make sure we got everybody in. So up the way it did. I'm glad that game didn't go as long as it could have, but thankfully it was a snoozer of a game, surprisingly. But well, WWE confirmed during the kickoff show, Survivor Series will be a Raw versus SmackDown show. Brock Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal is expected to be one of those matches, and maybe a rematch with AJ Styles or Finn Balor. You never know, but we'll find out. So, all right, tomorrow night we got Ridiculously Raw. We're going to sort out all the fallout from TLC and officially start the road to the Survivor Series. Of course, my reviews of 205 Live and Impact Wrestling on tap as well. And then Tuesday night, we got the Cerebral Smack Talk over with MF on his channel, BraceFan95. We'll review SmackDown Live. And of course, MF will have his thoughts on the finale of Ultima Lucha Trace, the Lucha Underground, as part of his Mikey's Mindset. And then Thursday night, we got College Football Thursday. The headline game, of course, Penn State against Ohio State. That's the game of the week right there. And then Friday night, we got NFL Friday. And that's it. So until tomorrow night for Ridiculously Raw, it's your ridiculously over good brother, Anthony Florio here. For good old MF, Michael Fletcher. For the Phenom, Michael Bullock. And for the Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson. And for everybody who's been a part of this one. Until tomorrow night for the Ridiculously Raw, you've been watching this special edition of Ridiculously Raw, the TLC 2017 recap right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. Good night, everybody.